announced to the Ghanaian farmer will be a price honored to the Ghanaian farmer. Ladies and gentlemen, given the strategic importance of the cocoa sector to the national economy, the New Patriotic Party respectfully makes the following demands. 1. We urge His Excellency the President to withdraw assent to the Ghana Cocoa Bill 2026 and return same to Parliament for broader stakeholder consultation. We also ask Parliament to remove or substantially narrow the ministerial exception in Clause 4B so that any expansion of Cocoa Board's mandate requires an enactment. We also ask Parliament to clarify on the face of the bill that external marketing of cocoa remains vested in the Cocoa Marketing Company or state expressly the government's intention regarding Clause 59(1)(a). We also ask Parliament to amend Clause 81 to exempt removals carried out in accordance with Cocoa Board's published agronomic guidelines and confine the prior approval requirements to conversions of cocoa farms to non-cocoa use. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of the press, Ghana's cocoa industry was not built in a single parliament, and it will not be repaired in a single week. It was built over a century by smallholder families who took the risk of planting a tree that will not bear for 5 years. They are owned better than a law made in haste about their livelihoods in their absence. We say again, the MPP supports sector reform. We support traceability, value addition, and guaranteed floor for the farmer. What we cannot support is a test that criminalizes cocoa husbandry, that criminalizes farmers for Cocoa Board's own registration backlog, that leaves the door open to the fragmentation of external marketing, and that ties the farmer's entitlement to a figure no farmer can verify. Return the bill, consult the farmer, fix the clauses, then pass a law the whole industry can stand behind. As it stands, major provisions in the new Cocoa Board law will hurt cocoa farmers.
Now, still with the party, according to the leader of the minority in Parliament, Alexander Fenyuamarkin, he did not claim that presidential staff member Nana Yaa Jantua was unfit to accept the petition that was sent to the presidency during the NPP's Democracy Under Attack demonstration. He spoke earlier on Good Morning Ghana.
You know, my friends in NDC, they can do their mischief and get people to believe in their mischief. Please play the tape. Let's play.
Right, let's watch this.
My words, the language. Let's watch it.
As is expected, the chief of staff or the deputy or a very senior member of government, under the circumstance, should have been part of this discourse and to lead it. We feel that, with great respect to you and without prejudice to your presence, to nominate only you to come amount to disrespecting us as a political party. I'm the leader of the party in Parliament. You have the general secretary of the party here. You have the chief of staff of the flag bearer. We have the chairman of the Constitutional Affairs Committee of the party. Members of Parliament and the leadership of Parliament are all here. But to disrespect our democracy by only nominating you to come, like I said, with great deference to you, it doesn't match it. So it means that the government does not even take serious the grave issues before us.
So, Audu, now answer. You answer.
You think you think your critics have been unfair to you?
No, I would do. At this point, be the judge. I don't have to speak for myself. In your very objective state, what you just played, only you were saying at least some officials should have joined you. I wasn't saying that she does not qualify.
Right.
You get what I mean?
Right.
I said to nominate only you, and I underscored it by saying that with great deference, great respect. I repeated deference and respect to you. At the tail end, in the beginning, gentlemen, I'm not perfect, but I am also equally aware of my environment. I don't go out to be attacking or, disrespecting people.
Nana Ajantwa is not happy.
Oh, I won't respond
because
to her.
she was there and she says she feels that
No.
You're suggesting she's not adequate.
No. Don't let us go there. I'm saying I've responded by. I will do.
She's going to petition Parliament.
I will do. It's
She
part of
says
the.
she's old enough to birth you
Do you want to go into that?
and all of that. How do we resolve this?
No, I don't want to get into that.
You won't apologize.
I've said that.
You won't apologize to her?
Please. With respect.
Okay.
I think that.
She wants an apology.
I think that they had.
Nanaya wants an apology.
I think that they had their own spinning machinery. They wanted to spin something.
But why would Nanaya want to spin?
I think that they wanted to take away the shine from the day that a peaceful demonstration, issues well articulated, massive turnout. They tried all manner of spin, including using GTV with some fake news. Remember, a day before, GTV of all published that the demonstration was not coming on, and later when we protested, GTV had to set the record straight. That was all part of the strategy to disorganize us. That failed. On the day in question, we spoke to our members, told them that, look, cooperate with police. There was no single incident. And let me commend the organizational committee led by Cabo and my good friend Anabi for their industry, hard work. Cabo, kudos to you. Well done, Anabi. Well done. The entire team, they coordinated well. The police did not have anything to worry about. We finished, we dispersed. So now as a government, the only way out was to now manufacture something out of nothing.
Okay.
And that's to me what they did.
All right.
I'm not going to respond to them.
When you won't say sorry
No,
to the agenda.
I'm saying I'm not going to respond to the agenda.
Okay.
I'm old enough in this game to understand this game.
Okay.
And sometimes when somebody wants to push you into a particular narrative, you don't go there. You have your issues.
Now moving on, a forensic audit by the Auditor General has uncovered what it describes as irregular financial transactions amounting to nearly $19.4 million at Ghana's embassy in Washington, D.C., involving visa and passport applicants between 2019 and 2025. The audit found that applicants were redirected to privately controlled platforms and charged additional fees for services that should have been processed through official government systems. There's more in this News Desk report. The audit found that applicants accessing the embassy's official website were redirected to privately controlled platforms and charged $29.75 for the return of their passports or visas. But the actual postage cost averaged $10.10, meaning applicants paid almost $20 more than the cost of the service. The report says these arrangements generated significant amounts through dispatch and mailing fees, application support charges, and other payments. The audit also identified irregular transactions involving application support services, extra merchant fees for online payments, and transactions involving Fred Quarton and Stefan LLC. The findings follow concerns that led to the temporary closure of the embassy in 2025 amid reports of delays, missing documents, and unclear fee structures. The Auditor General says the transactions were inconsistent with approved government systems and financial regulations governing consular fees. Concerns reportedly included delays in processing applications, missing passports and other documents, as well as a lack of clarity over the fees being charged to applicants. The latest forensic audit now provides a detailed financial trail of the additional charges imposed on applicants and raises questions about how private platforms became integrated into what should have been official government processes. The Auditor General's findings are expected to intensify scrutiny of the management of Ghana's diplomatic missions and the systems used to collect consular fees from citizens and other applicants. And Labour consultant Austin Gami has urged authorities to give human resource professionals the leverage to operate fully in all institutions across the country. According to him, the country continues to pay people for merely putting in appearances rather than enhancing productivity of their employers. He made the call at the Volta and Oti Regional Conference of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management held in Ho. The one-day conference, held under the theme Bridging Strategy and Culture, brought together human resource management professionals from public and private institutions across the Volta and Oti regions, as well as other stakeholders. The conference provided a platform for participants to reflect on past achievements, deliberate on current challenges, and set goals for the future. The Secretary of the Volta and Oti branch of the Chartered Institute of Human Resource Management, Pearl Akodo, explained the rationale behind the conference.
This conference has become part of our learning tools for HR professionals and any other person that believes in human resource development. So this is our second edition of the HR conference in the Volta and Oti region. And we believe that with the theme, the HR Bridging Culture and Strategy, that because we share values in organizations, whatever HR does affects the organization. So HR must just understand that they are strategic partners in the development of the organization.
Speaking to the media, one of the facilitators, Labour consultant Austin Gami, reiterated the need for human resource professionals to be given the leverage to operate effectively in all institutions across the country.
The HR system we run is not being given the kind of leverage that it ought to have. HR, straight away into Section 8 of the Labour Act, gives them and the employer the right to ensure that they design policies and programs, activate them, and set targets for each and every one that goes to work.
Some participants said the conference had enlightened them and broadened their perspectives, which they believe would enhance their effectiveness as human resource management practitioners.
Anytime you are handling people, you need to use a strategy. And you also know that they are coming from different cultural background. So you have to do your best so that the strategy and the culture, you bridge them together. And also we are leading people. Because we are leading people, we have to use the effective leadership strategy so that we can be able to manage them well. Because the most important asset of every organization is the human resource.
This zone has brought the partakers or those who are masters in the field of the HR, the labor law, all together with those kind of experiences that they have, what they do, their proactiveness, with all that they have packaged and brought to this program this year, this conference. I think for me alone, I have benefited.
And the Accra Regional Police Command has arrested two brothers, Adams Ada and Bala Bailon, over the alleged murder of a man and the shooting of his wife at Tuba near Weja in Accra. The incident occurred on August 6 at Beach Drive Estate, where police found Mohammed Rahman and his wife Christiana Fosu with gunshot wounds outside their four-bedroom apartment. Rahman was rushed to Finey Hospital in Weja but was pronounced dead on arrival, while his wife was referred to the Kolibu Teaching Hospital, where she remains on admission and is responding to treatment. Police say the two suspects, identified as Adams Ada Almeida and his brother Bala Bailon, were arrested with the assistance of the Cyber Vetting and Enforcement team. According to the police, Adams allegedly admitted to shooting the deceased and his wife, claiming he was motivated by remarks he said the deceased had repeatedly made about him being lazy and useless. Investigators later retrieved a pistol believed to have been used in the shooting from beneath a wardrobe in Bala Byland's room. Police say Bala works with the deceased, and investigations have established the two brothers reside together at Tuba. Adams also told investigators that the pistol was allegedly given to him by a friend identified as Gideon. Police visited Gideon's residence but did not find him, and efforts are underway to locate him. The body of the deceased has been deposited at the police hospital mortuary pending autopsy while investigations continue. We'll be back with more stories after this break. Do stay.
The pulse of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man is swing, Nesasu Mama Hotoso, a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
As the days come and go, there's always shit. Let colleagues explore all the planetary bodies. Our mission is in Uranus to treat hemorrhoids, anal fistula, anal fissure, anal incontinence, hidradenitis suppurativa, using laser ligature for pain-free and speedy recovery. On Uranus Street, Accra, is Main Tuba Hospital and Coloproctology Center. Trust Uranus with us and we will delight you. Visit Main Tuba Hospital today or call us on 0244 581 541.
Madam, I'm looking for Abena.
Abena, there's someone looking for you.
Madam, please, where's Abena?
Abena. Yes, ma'am. Is this who you are looking for?
Madam, please get me Abena. Please.
Della. Abena, bra.
Oh, Abena. If it's not Abena rice, I can't eat any other.
Abena rice.
FDA This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m, Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m, Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m, and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m, Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
In Yola, Victoria Naima Abdullahi, the Ghana Sanitation and Environment Conference is happening live at the CD Conference, University of Ghana, on the 21st of August, 2026. I'll be there.
Join me, let's make an impact on everybody.
It's Ghana Sanitation and Environmental Conference in Legon, CD Conference, on the 21st of August. My name is Haja Hamdatu Ibrahim Hussein. I'm going to be there. Kuduko kuzu, kuji enna zayi, abinde sa enna ruwa yezo yeche Accra. Mula sunko wa yezo, nyeso kuzo, agwada muko enna za kuyi, nyeso nguwanin kuduka, kuzamna cikin sabta. Don sabta Allah ma ya ce mu bari gidanmu, garinmu akwai sabta. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Ghana yahu siesie ne sebi yemante ne mpotemu siesie no hia eno ntino join the Ghana Sanitation and Clean Environment official 21st of August ewo City Conference Center ewo Legon na yina yembesua kwa befa so ayebetumi ma ahudie ene Ghana mantem ne mpotemu siesie ebema Ghana etumi afa ne ntoma papa efra entime yefa me ke tirema mebo hobi eno ntime ke sure se won so oba beka ye ho ni yina ya pre apɛ Ghana aho siesie ene ye ho gina ye eho ana muntu medase.
This is just to invite you to a sanitation and clean environment conference being organized by Metro TV. I mean, this is a way of them to also contribute to the country's achievement of SDG 6, which is on clean water and sanitation. So when corporate organizations do some of these things, especially for a media house that is within the fourth estate of the realm, being this responsible to help facilitate. SDGs are supposed to be achieved by 2030. We're in 2026. We all need to play our part. This is a special invitation to you to come participate, share ideas, so we can also share as a people. It also enhance the efforts of the country to achieve SDG 6, which is on clean water and sanitation, and also to mitigate some of the issues we are facing recently. For the past 11 years and recently, on 29th June, what happened to us, the number of lives, we can continue to be losing lives in the names of sanitation and clean environment. So please make it a point to attend the Sanitation and Clean Environment Conference being organized by Metro TV on the 21st of August. Thank you for attending.
At the Venture Capital Trust Fund, we hold one belief that when the last tree dies, the last business dies. And this belief penetrates through our investment decision making, and for which reason VCTF is highly particular about the environmental, social, and governance considerations of our businesses, our portfolio companies, and what they do. Indeed, I take this opportunity to invite you to the Ghana Sanitation and Clean Environment Conference, which is happening on the 21st of August this year at the CD Conference Center, University of Ghana. I will be there, so see you there. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Paul Adomochiri. I'm the host of Good Evening Ghana here on Metro TV. I'm inviting you to the Clean Conferences at the City Conference Center at the University of Ghana. We have to make Ghana clean and Metro TV is leading this agenda with Original FM. Everyone will be there. Please join us and let's make Ghana clean. So we have a first day of talking, and then we go on the field and actually show how to clean. The Chief of Staff will be leading that effort, Honorable Julius Deborah. He will be there with us to help us to show how to clean. We know how to clean. Join us to clean.
In Yola, Victoria Naima Abdullahi, the Ghana Sanitation and Environment Conference is happening live at the CD Conference, University of Ghana, on the 21st of August, 2026. I'll be there. Join me. Let's make an impact on our life.
Metro TV, Original TV, Original FM, and Metro Digital, under the auspices of the Office of the Chief of Staff, proudly present the Clean Conference 2026 under the theme Assessing Ghana's Progress Towards UN SDGs Agenda 2030. SDG 6, Clean Water and Sanitation, SDG 7, Clean Energy, and SDG 12, Responsible Consumption and Production. Friday, 21st August 2026, 9 a.m. at the City Conference Hall, University of Ghana, Legon, Accra. With just 4 years to achieve the UN SDGs 2030, how far has Ghana come? The answers begin with one national conversation, the Metro and Original Sanitation Conference, with the Chief of Staff, Honorable Julius Deborah. The Clean Conference, bringing together government, development partners, traditional authorities, industry players, academia, civil society, young people, and all Ghanaians. Change is not only in conference rooms, so there will be a cleanup exercise on Saturday, 22nd August 2026, also led by the Chief of Staff. Join thousands of volunteers for this massive cleanup exercise across the major streets of Accra. Metro Clean Conference, Wahuni Diema on Maini Tumpo.
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you are getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations. Season 3 of the Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
In a time where noise is loud, but clarity is rare, one program is changing the conversation. Welcome to the Intelligence Desk. This is not a talk show. This is a working studio. Each week, we break down the biggest national and global issues from AI and digital transformation to trade, jobs, governance, and national competitiveness, and turn complexity into practical, usable knowledge. Sharp questions, structured thinking, real solutions built live on air. With resident resource person Dr. David King Boyson, the show moves beyond commentary, designing frameworks, mapping strategies, and holding decision decision makers accountable. From the big issue briefing to the strategy lab to the innovation and opportunity board, every episode delivers tools you can use. If you care about Ghana's future, if you value clarity over chaos, if you believe leadership requires intelligence, then this is your desk. The Intelligence Desk, hosted by RSM Kofi Dole Lawson on Metro TV, where Ghana thinks forward.
Welcome back from the break. You're still watching the news updates. Now, an environmental communication expert, Dr. Kwesi Bosompem Boateng, has called for increased investment in waste management, particularly in waste collection equipment, logistics and engineered landfill sites across all 260 districts to address the country's worsening sanitation challenges. He said the country's waste management system remained weak due to years of inadequate investment, stressing that the June 29 floods had exposed critical gaps that required urgent and sustained action. Now, Dr. Kwesi Bosompem Boateng is also a senior lecturer at the School of Communication and Media Studies, University of Education, Winneba, and he joins us on the phone for more. Hello, Doc. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, is Ghana's sanitation problem fundamentally a waste management infrastructure problem?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on your show. From the evidence in June and the happenings, then we can actually say that the problem is actually a waste management problem. I agree that some of these challenges are caused by natural incidents and events, but if you look at other things, then we can also say that some of these things are as a result of our own activities and our inability to manage our waste very well in this country.
But fundamentally, is it because we don't have enough systems, or the people, you know, as they say, should we fix ourselves, or it's the system that we should fix?
First, we need to fix the system,
okay,
and also try to fix ourselves as well. So, for example, if you look at some of the things that cause these kind of disasters, things like indiscriminate waste disposal, how people are encroaching on waterways and wetlands, how our physical planning is done, and how we do our construction and all these things. These are all evidence to show that, yes, we agree that rains or floods could be as a result of nature, or it could be a natural cause. But looking at some of the things that we do as individuals or as citizens of our country, we could also say about 70% of the things that cause these disasters are as a result of our own activities. If we are not disposing of our waste very well, if we are encroaching on waterways which block water and then floods and rain from flowing, then obviously we're going to experience some of these things. So yes, the system is also a problem, but our own activities are also part of the problem. If we are able to enforce our laws, if we're able to do our waste collection well, if we're able to do our logistics and then engineering of our land sites and other places, then obviously we could have, if not even eliminate the whole situation, we would have even minimized it to some extent. That wouldn't have caused the kind of disaster that we had recently in June. So there are two ways. The system itself, which we need to put in more effort to be able to prioritize our activities towards addressing these issues on the long-term basis, and also our activities and behaviors as people and individuals are also a cause to this problem. So it's a two-way challenge.
Right. Now, you've called for, investment in waste collection equipment and logistics. Where exactly do we need these investments?
Yes, we need so many things to be put in place. Investments in terms of how we are able to collect our waste, and investment as to how we are able to get the logistics, the necessary logistics to be able to do the things right. The weaknesses with regard to waste management in this country was very clear as a result of the recent incident in June. You could see that in our own ways, we have not been able to effectively desilt our drains as a people. We have not been able to effectively collect our waste as a people. We don't even comply with planning regulations. We are not able to educate our people about the environment and climate change. And these are all things that come up together to create some of these problems. How often do we even hear agencies that are responsible for communicating about the environment, communicating to Ghanaians about the implications of climate change and some of the activities that we do and the consequential effects of what we do and what they can cause? We don't hear all these things. We don't invest more in how we educate people about the environment to protect it. We don't invest more about how we communicate about climate change. So everything seems not to be done in the right way, you see. And even though the government has been doing so well in terms of trying to address the issues by giving reliefs, by desilting and other things, we still need to look at it from a bigger and then a long-term perspective. How do we address the issues beyond what we are doing now? We can do all the reliefs, we can do all the desilting now, we can demolish, we can do the cleanup exercises. But we need to look at how best we can prevent these issues from happening on a long-term basis. And that is where I think we need to have more investments in this area, because what we are doing currently is okay, but it's not enough. These are short-term reactive measures or interventions to address the issue. But we need to look at it from the long-term perspective, more investment in terms of how we are able to even educate our people to change their behaviors as to what we do to the environment, in terms of how we are able to also use some of these facilities available to address this issue. If you go to some of these districts and other places, there are not even equipment for them to even collect the waste there. So people now decide to leave waste that they are supposed to dispose of in areas and communities, and they pile up, and then when there are rains, they push all these things into our communities, and you could see the consequential effects in the end. So we need to change our ways of doing things, put in more efforts, invest more money that are meant for activities related to the environment and waste management must be put into the right places rather than channeling them into other places. And later we get to know that we have not been able to do what we were supposed to do. And so these are all things that we need to come together as a collective, not as individuals, because the issue is not just for government. The issue is not just for agencies. The issue is about all of us. So we need to put all of us, we have to come together, make sure that we change our mindsets, make sure that we help or we support government in whatever they do in terms of actions to address it. And with time, if we are able to do all these things, if we are not even able to eliminate the issues when the rains are here, at least we'll be able to minimize the effect or the consequences as a result of these issues. Yeah.
Now, who should, of course, so say if I'm coming from home to work, at Circle, there's usually a heap of rubbish. And if I'm early enough, I see a Zoom Lion truck, collecting the rubbish. Should the, say, traders at the markets pay for dustbins? Should they be the ones, or it's up to the assembly to do this? Who should take the burden to say, okay, we don't have enough waste collecting equipment, let's pay for dustbins across the neighborhood?
Yes, I agree that we have agencies and authorities that are responsible for these things. But we as individuals, for example, we were talking about market women picking up and clearing their place and all these things. Yes, we have to do these things on our own. You see, we don't have to wait for government or an organization or an agency to come and do things for us. We have to do things on our own, and then when it's beyond us, then government and other agencies must come in. If they are able to enforce these laws, and then we are also able to do our activities and things in our own way to preserve and then protect the environment from these activities that affect the environment, then obviously we can have success. So it is not the duty of just government to manage the environment or waste. It is the duty of all of us as citizens to, in our own small ways, put in efforts to address issues related to the environment. Then the government also come in from the bigger perspective to do the things beyond that we as individuals cannot do to address the issue. So it's we have the responsibility, whether we are market women or we are traders or we are mechanics or we are lawyers, we are doctors. In our own ways, in our own communities, we have to work towards addressing these issues, make sure that we are managing our environment well. Then the government also puts its own measures as a bigger picture or as a bigger organization to support whatever we do individually. Then in a bigger way, we can all address the issue and prevent some of these things from happening.
Now, people will still, litter or throw rubbish around. How do we enforce sanitation bylaws? Because an example is when I was coming today, a bus or a car with a heap of rubbish, traveling, I'm sure, going to a landfill site to dispose of the rubbish, dropped some. And, some people in their cars, alighted and told the man to go back to pick up the rubbish. But he didn't. In cases like this where normal civilians can't do anything, how do we enforce sanitation bylaws? Because clearly he's breaking the rules, he's littering the environment, but there's nothing that happens to him at the end of the day.
Yes, and that is a challenge we all have to look at. We need to make sure that our laws and regulations are enforced. You see, I agree, sometimes when government takes action, we begin to talk against them for not considering other factors and other stuff. Yeah, we all agree that we are humans, but we have to be bold and strict to be able to get things done. If people are disposing and we talk to them, they don't mind, we don't arrest them, or we don't let the law take its course. People are building on waterways, dumping other things and wetlands and rivers and other stuff, and then if people try to clear or arrest them, the same people as Ghanaians will come and say, oh no, government doesn't have a human face and do. So you see, we need to be bold, we need to be courageous to make sure that all the laws and regulations that govern the activities related to the environment are enforced. If we are bold and we see people dropping waste somewhere and then we raise it and we give them some fines to pay or we send them to court and they are sanctioned and we have this community, what we used to do in the past, community sanitation officers coming to the houses and the homes of people and they see garbages and other stuff and the law gets hold of them. Obviously, we need to make sure that they are punished for some of these things they do. If we keep on trying to show that human face, people do the wrong things, dumping things in the wrong places, and we say, oh, we just consider them what. That has been the cause. We have to make sure that where the laws have to be used or to be implemented, we have to be bold as much as possible and make sure that people who do the wrong thing are punished so that it will be a deterrent to others and so on and so forth. If we are able to do that, then obviously we will be able to address the issue. Apart from putting the law into action or making sure that people are punished for whatever they do against the environment, we also have to make sure that we are able to communicate well about the environment. More investment in environmental communication, especially climate change and other stuff, and make people see that some of the things that are happening and affecting our environment and our communities are as a result of our actions and efforts. And for that reason, we need to be educated on how we can protect our environment, how we can make sure that the place is secure. If we combine the implementation of the law, the application of the law, together with intensive education about the environment and climate and what we do and the effects of what we do on the environment, then we as citizens will now be able to understand the need for us to make sure that we work or we do things to prevent some of these happenings from occurring. You get it? So it's a matter of, apart from clearing and doing all those things, we have to make sure that our laws are working. When you do wrong, you have to be punished for that. If you build on the waterway, we just don't demolish and then also make sure that the law is applied for whatever action that we need to take against them. If we're able to implement the law or enforce the law strictly, and we also change our attitudes through intensive environmental communication and education, then we'll be able to make strides to address these problems.
Right. Can the government do this alone without, private sector participation?
Yes, obviously, the private sector is also an important player in there. So, for example, what Zoom Lion, your people are doing is also a key contribution. So there should be that collaboration, not only government. There should be collaboration between government and other private entities that are also contributing to addressing these problems. And so that engagement must also be intensified. We have to make sure that apart from the citizens and the government, agencies, organizations, private ones that are also interested in helping to address the environmental challenge that we have must all come together so that collectively, as citizens, collectively, as private organizations and individuals and government, we can all work together and be able to achieve whatever we want to achieve, to be able to address some of these issues so that it doesn't become a perennial problem that keeps on coming every year. We talk about it, and once the rains are gone, we forget about it, and then we wait until the following year when it comes again. So yes, we need to get the private people involved so that they also make sure that their own contributions, they are doing it. We also do our own, and we combine with government, and then together we'll be able to address the issue.
Right. Now, the aftermath of the June 29 floods, caused the government to organize, national cleanup days. How effective is this going to be? Should we organize this more? Is this going to be a one-time thing? What is your take on that? How many days should we have national cleanup days? Should it be, because it has been implemented before, it just was forgotten after a while. So do we make sure we extend the time? Because if it's every quarter, it will put more importance or relevance on it, or it should be every Saturday. What do you think about the national cleanup days?
So, you even indicated that, yes, in the past we started it and then we ended at the point and it's come back again. And so if in our own community we can make it a practice that, okay, I remember those days when we were young, every Saturday, some of us who grew up in places like the barracks, we had our mothers and fathers coming together every week on Saturday. They clean their communities and they have their people at the top, the bosses coming around to inspect whatever they do in the community. So this thing should be a sustained activity. You just don't do it a week or two because there is a crisis, and then when we are able to address the crisis, and then the rains are gone, we just relax, and then we wait. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about the environment until the following year when the issue comes again, then we begin to think. It should be a permanent or a sustained effort to be able to address it. So I think that if we can do it on a weekly basis, in our own communities, we need to wait for any private organization or government to come and tell us to do things before we do. Even in our own communities, we decide that, okay, maybe every Saturday we should be cleaning our own communities or our areas. I think it will help. So it should be a regular thing. It shouldn't just be an ad hoc thing where there is an incident today and then government and the president will whip all of us together, we go and do it, and then at a point we just relax, waiting for another year to come for us to have the same problem before we start to address them. It should be something regular. Like you said, I agree with you. If we can do it, or if we have the means to do it on a weekly basis, probably on every Saturday, would have been the best. If we aren't and we're also able to do it on bi-weekly basis, would have been best. But if we decide to just do it once, to address a particular situation, and then we relax and then we wait for the situation to come up again before we address, then obviously we are not going anywhere. So yes, it has to be regular. It has to be something sustained. If it's bi-weekly or weekly, and there are laws to enforce, government and other people in authority must ensure that if we say every Sunday we are doing it or every bi-weekly we are doing it, people are coming out and doing it. Not just to say we are doing it and then we just expect people to do that. For people to do things on their own, you and I know how it is. People will just do what they want to. But the government comes in and is making sure that people are doing it on a regular basis. Then everybody will come on board. And in the next few years, if we are not able to eliminate the situation, we will be able to minimize it.
Okay. With the volume of waste that we produce, do we have enough waste management facilities? Is there an imbalance?
There is an imbalance. We do not have adequate waste management facilities. There are so many districts in this country where they don't even have places where they deposit their stuffs. Even here in Accra, people struggle to get places to even deposit some of these wastes. The facilities, the equipment are not enough. You can go to the district assemblies all over the country and ask how many of them even have this equipment and facilities for managing these waste products. Many of them don't have. So there is a serious imbalance with regard to facilities to addressing this issue and equipment to addressing issue. We need to make sure that we are resourcing our district assemblies, we are resourcing agencies that are responsible, private sector organizations that are also contribute their bits. We need to make sure that they are all equipped and resourced. If we're able to address these imbalances and we're able to provide them what is needed to be able to address the situation, then we can now call them to action or sanction them if they are not able to perform. But if we are not able to provide all these facilities and equipment for them to address issues, then obviously we can't put the blame on them, because they will also come up to argue that they don't have what it takes to address this issue. So that's why I said we need more investments. You see, more investment in terms of equipment, more engineers, landfill sites, probably around all the 260 districts. Every district should at least have something or where to properly dump these waste and manage these stuff. So if we're able to set these imbalances, I think there will be a huge improvement on our health and sanitation issues in the country.
Right. Now, for my last question, in the near future, what measures can the government take to be able to tackle these, given, our situation, economic situation?
Yes. In the next years ahead, government should increase its investment in waste management. Government must ensure that the laws and regulations that govern the management of waste are implemented, and those who offend or break the laws must be sanctioned and punished as a deterrent to those who may also do similar things, and make sure that the systems are working. Enforcement is one. More investments into waste management is two. More education, communication, environmental communication, and education. That is very important, because there are many people who might not even know the consequences of some of the actions they take with regard to the environment. So more investments in terms of equipment and facilities, more investments in terms of education and communication about environment and the climate, and all these things. More stricter measures to be implemented in cases where people go against what is supposed to be done. And if you're able to do all these, then I am sure that in the next few years, the issue may reduce. You see, we have to make sure that all our planning regulations are strictly enforced. People go and then they get permits to build houses in places where there are waterways, and when those authorities decide now to break those things then or pull them, people will now come to plead and beg and all. We need to avoid all this. We have to be firm in our laws. Make sure that they are strictly enforced. And if you're able to do that, together with the resourcing and investments and communication and education, that is very important. Communication and education about the environment and the climate. If you're able to do all these things, then I am sure that in the next few years, if we are not able to address the problem totally, we'll be able to minimize the consequences of these perennial challenges.
Right. Do you feel like the government hasn't taken the conversation of climate change and waste management seriously? Looking at how we consistently face problems.
Environment in Ghana, there is a gap. You get it. How often do you even hear agencies or organizations communicating about the environment, communicating about climate change?
Right.
How many even know that some of the things they do, the things they throw away, has a consequential effect on the climate, or our poor management of the environment has a consequential effect on the weather and the changes and what is happening? There are many people who don't know that the things we do in our own small ways in our homes are the consequences or the results of what we continue to experience. So we need to make sure that people are well educated about the environment, and that has to be a regular thing. We don't have to wait for the rains to come before we tell people to distill their gutters. We don't wait for the rains to come before we tell people to clean their environment. It has to be a continuous process. People have to be informed. Let them know the consequences of our actions and inactions with regard to the environment. And if the communication is intensive and people become more aware, these experiences, we go to other parts of the world, we don't see some of them. It's because people are more aware about the environment. They know the implications of whatever they do on the environment. And so they are careful when they are doing things related to the environment. But Ghana here, we hardly hear people communicating about the environment. We hardly hear people talking about how to protect the environment. The education is not there. The only time that you hear people talking or educating people about the environment and waste management is when there is a disaster like what happened in June and people are dying and properties are being destroyed, then we now begin to talk about it. Once it's over, we forget. So one of the main challenges, apart from these investments and issues about managing waste, is about communication, climate and environmental communication. We don't communicate more about the environment. Many people don't know what to do and what not to do, and their implications on the and all those things combined together can cause in the future. And we are able to do that and make them aware of the consequences of whatever we do as a people. I think our attitudes and behavior towards the environment will change, and consequently, it will also have a bigger effect on how these issues are minimized.
Much will take a report on sanitation concerns.
Areas around the Medina Market and the major transport station where vehicles load passengers to various destinations continue to experience indiscriminate littering and overflowing waste. Plastic bags, food containers and other refuse can still be seen along roadsides and around trading areas, raising questions about the long-term impact of the cleanup exercise. For the market women at Medina, the sanitation situation is a crisis, lamenting its impact on their businesses.
We, the Ghanaians, when we eat, we just throw it on the floor. You know, we drink pure water, we just leave, the lids around. But if we keep we buy pure water, and then when we finish drinking, and we put it somewhere and take it home, and maybe burn it, it will be better. But we do the cleanup, and some of them are messing it up.
They're calling for stricter enforcement of sanitation regulations and the provision of adequate waste bins at strategic locations in the area.
When the boys comes, the refuge boys comes, we have to pay them. When they take the rubbish, we have to pay them. Unless maybe the Zoom Lions car.
Well, that's it for the news. Thank you so much for staying with me. My name is Natasha Jamra. My dress is by Van D Originals on Instagram. Good Afternoon Ghana continues after this break. Stay tuned.
Of a nation, rising, unshaken. When the Black Stars take the world stage, we don't just play, we bring the storm. Fuel the dream. Support the Black Stars. Storm Energy Drink. Make your mark. Excessive drinking can be detrimental to health. Not recommended for persons under 18 years, lactating mothers, pregnant women, and people sensitive to caffeine. This advert is FDA approved.
Finding my dream apartment in just 2 days was a breeze with 7terragh.com. Looking for your next home, the perfect piece of land, or the best commercial property for your business? Are you worried about sending money home for property and finding nothing when you return? Well, worry no more. 7terragh.com is just a platform to find prime lands, perfect properties, or vibrant real estate development at the click of a button. 7terragh.com is your go-to property listing platform that allows you to register, list, rent, buy or sell, and connect with correct agents. With our AI-powered smart search, personalized dashboards, verified agent connection, and interactive property maps, all your property needs have been made easier. Check us out on 7terragh.com or contact us on 0302-998-246 or 0561-032-252. 7terragh.com, powered by MNC Properties.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Kel Charcoal toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, who be here, Semetra Sapapadia to Amame Manfo, Kel Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, and Maniswing, Nesansu Mama Hoto so a will beg you.
Kel Charcoal toothpaste. Choose Kel Charcoal toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kel, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Today's class is going to be an exciting one. Now, who can share an unforgettable moment in their life? Okay, Asempa.
I'd like to talk about my first time. It was her natural look, complemented by her favorite green silky apparel that caught my attention. I have to say, she automatically possessed me with her smile, which exposed her beautiful white teeth. That's not all, her enduring signature perfume could be smelled from afar. Madam, why do you look so surprised? My first time with her was special and irresistible. I'm talking about Cindy Rice. Cindy Rice can be found in selected supermarkets nationwide.
Cindy Rice, sweet aroma, great taste. This advert is FDA approved.
This July, get ready for stories that will make your heart race. From love and passion to secrets and lies that can ruin everything. Catch the sizzling episodes of Sins and Roses at 4 p.m., Domenica Monteiro at 5 p.m., Be My Sunshine at 6 p.m., and Avenida Brazil at 7 p.m. Central African Time. Only on Novelas Plus, Channel 133 on DSTV.
This is the old way. Let me show you a new and a better way. EduPack.
EduPack?
Yes, EduPack. A GS-approved and supported initiative for all first year students going to SHS by Prospectus Ghana Limited. Now you don't need to go to the market. All your trunks, mattresses, pillows, including plastic chalkboards, are all waiting for your child at the school. Note, all our wooden chalkboards are being changed to plastic ones to avoid bedbugs.
You can also register by dialing *713*821# following the prompts, or you can visit www.edupackgh.com and tap register. You can also register at any ADB branch near you at a very affordable price. EduPack, approved and supported by G.
Right, welcome back from the break. Many thanks for staying with us here on Good Afternoon Ghana. We appreciate your time here on the program. My name is Desmond Okreko Danso, and we're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana. You can join us live on there, also on DSTV channel 277. Coming up on the show this afternoon, we've got conversations, and my guest is seated here. He is no stranger to our program here. Today we'll be talking about internal elections of the National Democratic Congress. We'll look at his own chances and how he's been preparing for the election, and also we'll delve into some of the happenings. In fact, over the weekend, there's been a trending story from the United States where former tour boss Asante Beko has been, in the middle of a huge bribery scandal, $1 million, as he tried to work on some deals in the past. And then, in fact, with the details of the names that we have, the people involved in this, this will be a huge test for the Attorney General. Already, Justice Remsai says that the Attorney General is working with his counterparts in the United States to find out the names of Ghanaians who are involved in that particular scandal. Later on the show, we will talk about the tourism and creative art space because the minister in charge of that ministry, Ablaji Fagomashi, just ended a press conference, as we put it, the government accountability series. We'll get some responses on that. A lot of persons in the creative art space, tourism space of the country are not exactly happy with what's happening there. Did she provide some answers? What exactly did she say to some of the concerns that have been raised? Would get that and get some reactions also on that for you. So do want to stay with us here on the program. And before we wrap up on the show, there's just a thought of something I want to talk about. The word to use is the sort of intolerant behaviors we've seen when it comes to religion in our country. Although we are people that we've said that we are, accommodating when it comes to our religion. We've been like this for a very long time. We've seen some things happening on social media. I'll just have to say my piece on that, right? So just stay with us to the very end. Wanda Kuto is here. He's a NEC member for the NDC, and he's also aspiring for a huge position in the party. Wanda, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm fine. Good afternoon.
Yes. How's it going?
Oh, we're on the grounds. We are using the experience. Yeah, experience. We're on the grounds. Last week we were in Northeast. Okay. Yeah, Bunkrugu, Wale, that enclave, Cherepone, and all of that. Then we descended to Bono East, the Kintampo area, Techimana, Tebubu, Sene East, Pro East. Then we moved to Bono itself.
Okay.
Yeah, Sunyani East, Sunyani West, that enclave. This weekend we are in Western North. So we are on the grounds. I mean, we believe that we need to give respect to the stakeholders of the party. And when I talk about the stakeholders, I'm talking about those who actually own the party, the branches, the constituency. So we are on the grounds. Of course, once in a while we do social media, but essentially getting close to the people, visiting them, and as a current national director of the party, it's our duty to be in touch with party leadership at the constituency level, and that is exactly what we are doing.
Right, and when it comes to getting on the ground and speaking with the people, what are the things that they say to you? Of course, you talk about social media, an excellent tool for campaigning and reaching out to members of the party. But as you deliberate with them, person to person, what do they say to you?
Yeah, basically, some of them are worried with the increasing growth of social media. They feel like it's undermining the party structures. That sometimes information that maybe they will need to sit down with party leadership, they just see it on Facebook, TikTok, and it's very difficult. And they feel like sometimes people bypass the party structures and just put things out there. So they were worried about it. People are also concerned about their personal growth, capacity building in terms of scholarship for their awards and all of that. A few also mentioned job opportunities at some key areas. I mean, we are handling it, so these are not things that you can sit on TV and talk about. But essentially, people are happy with the government. They think that the government is doing well. Ghanaians are praising the party, which they are executives. You understand? There are two different things. You may not be happy in terms of personally things that your expectation, whether they are met or not, in terms of maybe you lobbying for an appointment or something. But in terms of the governance, you understand? If you belong to a political party that Ghanaians are happy that no, this party that we voted for, we've not regretted in terms of the exchange rate, inflation. So people are happy with the party, with the government. And if you are a leader in the party, you will also be happy that Ghanaians are happy with the government. Of course, like I said, persons also feel that their expectations in terms of appointment, what they lobbied for, have not been met generally. But some also know that politics it's a patience game. It's a patience game. Some will get this in the morning, some will get this in the afternoon. Even at night, some will still get this. But let me use the opportunity to run through our timetable, the electoral timetable of NDC. Let me take you through. So in terms of the constituency, so the picking of nomination form will start next month. Specifically, nomination will be open on 15th of September. Nomination will be open and it's for seven days. So the filing of nomination for the constituency across the country will be from Wednesday 23rd and Thursday 24th of September across Ghana. And the vetting for the constituency position, the vetting will be held on the 25th through to Sunday 27th of September. And this will be done at the various party constituency offices across Ghana. And it's important that party members get all this timeline so that, because once it beats you, it will take you another 4 years
to be able to do that.
Exactly. So very important. The appeal processes will be from Tuesday 29th of September to Thursday the 1st of October, and the election for constituency executive will be in October, Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th of October 2026. So depending on where you are from, some constituency may fix it for Saturday, some may fix it for Sunday. But the bottom line is that between the Saturday 24th and Sunday 25th of October, all constituency elections of the NDC across Ghana will have been held. Now, when we move to the regions, nominations will be open from Tuesday to Wednesday, 6th October to Wednesday, the 7th of October. So basically, this is how it's going. It's looking like so far in terms of the calendar. When we move to filing of regional election, is from Wednesday 14th to Thursday 15th of October. The vetting for regional aspirants will be from Friday 16th and Saturday 17th of October. The appeal process is from Monday 19th and then a Tuesday 20th. The regional and women conferences, for the NDC, the delegate composition for the youth organizer and the women organizer is different from the other position.
Right.
The youth wing is the various constituency youth organizers, their deputies and the other youth, they will elect their youth leader in the region.
Okay.
Likewise, for that of the women organizers position, the various constituency women organizers and their deputies will also elect their women leader. That will be done a week ahead. A week ahead of the main election. So that will be done on Friday 30th of November, whereas the main regional election will be done on the 14th and 15th. Okay, so per the calendar it will be done Friday, then the weekend itself we have the main regional election. Now when you go to the national election, the nomination will be open on Tuesday 20th of October and Wednesday 21st of October. The form will be open for 14 days and the filing will be from 7th to 9th of November. 7th to 9th of November. The vetting will be from Thursday 12th to Friday 13th of November. The appeal process 15th to 16th of November. The Youth and Women Conference will be 12th December, a week prior to the main election, which is on the 19th of December. Then we have the National Congress. But let me also make it clear that normally at the National Congress, that is where constitutional amendments also take place. So if you're a party person and you are hoping that the party makes some amendment to the constitution, this is the right time for you to make yourself available in terms of your petitions, stating the specific provision that you want the party to look at. And bear in mind that the Congress is the highest decision-making body of the party, and these congresses are mostly held after every 4 years. So if you want a particular provision of the constitution to be relooked at, you may send your petition ahead of time for the party to consider it at the next National Congress scheduled for 19th of December 2026.
Right, Wanda, great that you've taken us through the timelines for this, but the base from the constituency is very important for the party to thrive at the national level. For persons who are seeking to get into the constituency or to become constituency executives, what should be their thinking? What should be, their vision for the constituency level? And for those who will be voting also, what should they be looking out for in terms of who to vote for at the constituency level, looking at how critical it is in the scheme of things for the party?
Yeah, essentially, you see, every election is local.
Right.
If you want to vote for, let's say, a constituency chairman, a constituency secretary, every constituency has its dynamics. If you take a constituency like Agotime Ziope, you will know, for example, that if the current MP is from Ziope, the chairman will come from Agotime.
Okay.
If the MP is from Agotime, the chairman will come from Ziope. So some constituencies have their own internal arrangements. You see, so you may be a good candidate for chairmanship, but if you are from Ziope and the MP is from Ziope, for example, you have a challenge. So there are a lot of things that goes into electing constituency elections. That's constituency executives. That's why I always say that every election is local. You need to look at the dynamics and all of that, and the balance card. Party branch executives also look out for experience. So you see that before they make you a chairman, probably you said the person might have worked even as a youth organizer in the constituency. The person probably served as secretary. So when the person is going for chairmanship, for example, it's much more easier. That's not to say that there are no first timers also do come and then just also win. Maybe perhaps the person might have also been an assembly member in the constituency. So every constituency needs dynamic. But bottom line is that they should elect persons who understand the parties very well and who can handle the party, because every election is one at the constituencies, one at the polling station. So they should give us leader. And for NDC delegates, we trust them. They always deliver. They always
deliver.
Yeah, they always
I was
deliver.
going through some of the comments on your Facebook post, when you were going across the country, and someone says that, what was the word? The person said, increase your wallet. Something like that. How expensive is it for you, running and aspiring to be an executive of the party? Are they collecting money from you?
No. Party delegates will not. They don't ask for money. No. When they say increase your wallet, it's in so many forms. Look, whether you like it or not, when you travel, you have to sleep in the hotels. You have to buy fuel. When you meet the people, you need to give them transport. If you invite them, you get a point. But they don't even ask. They don't ask. But you have
they don't ask?
No, they don't ask you. Let me be fair.
They're not asking you for anything so that they can vote for you when it's time?
No, NDC delegate don't do that. But you have to be courteous. If you ask some people to meet you somewhere, and they've come on their own, maybe their transport.
So that's what you call the TNT?
Yes, reasonable TNT. But essentially, when they say increase your wallet, for example, I remember when I went to Sender East or so, that tiger got best. You need to purchase. At the time, you have to buy. You purchase tie and all of that. The hotel. So it's expensive moving around across the country. It's very expensive, but that is the sacrifice you face as a politician.
But you know that's not the kind of load your wallet I'm talking about.
Then you have to
because my question was about we've seen elections both internally and on national scale where it's delegates are induced money with other things to be able to vote for candidates and all of that. That has been raised as one of the cankers of our democratic establishment as we have in the country, as to vote for people to get into offices for us. Even recently with the Supreme Court ruling, a lot of people are saying that it is a step in the right direction because of how our elections have become. A lot of money is involved in all of that. So I'm asking you that if you have to pay for people to vote for you, would you do that?
No, but you see, the party have put in stringent measures such that it will be very difficult for you to even want to buy delegates. Do you know that if you look at the NDC guidelines, you cannot even have more than 2 signposts?
But we know what's in the we know what's in the guidelines and we know what's on the streets.
No, this is a new NDC. Oh yes.
As the NDC that we still saw the what's it called, the but the by-election that happened.
That you saw what happened, the aftermath. You saw the question. You say quickly, committee was put in place, and of course, I mean, you can't fight as it stands now. You can't take out corruption 100% out of it. But the NDC that you see today, we have put in measures to stop, to make sure those things doesn't happen. For other political parties, I'm sure you are saying it because you've witnessed primaries with the MPP.
We've seen it with the MPP. We've seen it with the NDC too.
This is a new NDC. I can assure you that the constituency election.
They knew from when? After the by-election, and then when Fifi Kwete came in and talked about a lot of things. That's when the new NDC began.
Have you seen the guidelines? Elections are run via the guidelines. Have you seen the guidelines? You cannot even have 2 signposts.
So that's what I'm saying, that the guidelines are there, but Also, what happens out on the streets is that
take my word.
Is it draining you? Is it draining you getting into this position?
Oh, in terms of your health, the strength. I mean, we pray for grace traveling across this country. Look, sometimes you have to eat in the car because from here you move here, time to even eat and all of that. So in terms of your health, it will drain you. But I mean, our life is in the hands of the Almighty Allah. You understand? So we are on course. But it's part of the sacrifice.
You seem to be very tired. I can see for you.
Oh yes, extremely. But we are on course. And experience is key. You see, for some of us, we have worked as branch organizer, work as constituency deputy secretary before moving to the national level. So the experience matters. And delegates know. They know that to put somebody at the national level, you know, somebody who understands the party structures very well. A month or two ago, I was assigned to lead the national monitoring team to Upper East region, to handle all the branch elections, to monitor the vetting and all of that.
Okay.
So if you don't understand how the party system works, you cannot work at the national level.
Okay.
You remain on social media, you remain on Facebook, on TikTok, but you cannot do the work. You cannot deliver. Experience is important at this stage of our party.
What do you make of the Supreme Court's, ruling about the delegate system?
I mean, as a political party, we have tried this before. In 2015, then this parliamentary primaries, which I was a key player, I contested alongside the cabinet minister at the time, Honorable Clement Kofi Humadu in Anglon, and then the current MP who was then the presiding member, Honorable Safre, and some 6 other members, aspirants. My experience is that it's better in terms of mobilizing to support communities. You see, the delegate system, you are forced to meet a few category of people. You see, but once it has been expanded, you are going to meet a larger number of people. So you are forced to do things to benefit the community. But if you know that everybody in this community have a vote, or like 2 people represent or 9 people representing the community, if only 9, you go and focus on the 9. But if it's the whole community, I remember at the time, the support I give to a community has to do giving their school a computer, because I know that when they hear of it, they will be happy. Probably if I knew it's only 9 people who will be voting, I probably would not send a computer to the school. I probably would go and meet just the 9 people. So I agree with the Supreme Court that this system will open the market.
Okay.
Yes, it will open the market, but it's still expensive.
Okay.
It's expensive in terms of even the organization. If the parties are to bear the electoral cost, it's expensive. The last time our national chairman was on a sister radio station and gave the cost we incurred in 2015.
But it is for your own good. So if it's expensive, you have to find ways and means to do
but
that.
political parties are public institutions. Maybe we may have to elevate the conversation to see how the state can also intervene to support all political parties.
The state should be supporting political parties.
But these are public institutions. We file annual returns. These are public institutions. At the end of the day, there is a political party that form governments.
Okay.
And if we are talking about stopping corruption, we need to look at it very well. So that any man that comes, if strange money enters the political party's account, we can question it.
Able to scrutinize.
Yes, yes. We need to elevate the
conversation. We have just a few minutes to go. So just back on your campaign and just share with our viewers what your vision again is for this portfolio that you want to get into.
Campaign having started, so I will not go into the policies.
Okay.
But I'm just saying that experience is key. Experience is key. So for some of us, we've served this party. We've worked from the branch, the constituency, to the national. So, like I've said, inshallah, by the grace of God, when the party open nomination for national portfolio in October, God willing, I'll pick form to contest for the position of Deputy National Communication Officer of the party. You understand?
You're ready?
Campaign, we are absolutely ready. Campaign hasn't started. I won't go into the policies, but our intention is
That's
out
the
there.
intention.
There's no two ways about it. We're on the grounds. Experience is key.
Wonder Victor Kuto, lawyer, thank you so much for coming in this afternoon. So he's a board member of VRA, and he's also a NEC member for the NDC, talking to us about his travels across the country and all of that. So Wonder, we are wrapping up on this and the MPP says that you are suppressing them in terms of things that they have to say, the right of citizens to free speech.
You see, rights move with responsibilities. You see, rights move with responsibility. They have the right to do whatever they want to do, but they should just be measured. They should consider the public safety and all of that. You see, there's difference. Now I'm sure they are happy that the NDC is in power. When they were in power, people could not even demonstrate. You saw it, what happened. The Galamsey demo. You saw it. People were being arrested all over and all, but we have allowed them and all of that. And it's quite unfortunate. Did you listen to the words of the minority leader too, Madam?
What wrong exactly did he say?
Describing a presidential staff as a nobody.
In a context.
I mean, don't.
No, in a context. I know, and I'm trying to be fair. No, I'm trying to be fair.
Which context?
To the
so what's the context?
To the minority
so what's
leader.
The context?
He was on Good Morning Ghana earlier today, and the video was replayed. And frankly speaking,
saying a presidential staffer
frankly speaking,
as a nobody.
Frankly speaking, he said that it was disrespectful that for the caliber of people of the party who had stepped out to put out this petition at the presidency, they had to send Nana Yar'Adua. And he spoke and said that he said respectfully and not to demean who you are at the presidency, you are not the one that we're looking for. We wanted you to receive this petition. So I'm just trying to be fair to him and to the comments that he made and the video that was out.
Humility in governance, or humility is not only needed in governance, humility is also needed in opposition. Okay. Thank you.
Wonder Victor Kuto, thank you very much for your time. We're taking a quick turn.
But this weekend we are in Western North.
You're going to Western North?
Western North. Then we'll end around in the Obuasi enclave. Obuasi East, West, Akrofom, or the Tobri.
Do you have a little bit of fear delegating you?
Well, I've dealt with delegates several.
So you don't fear delegates?
Yeah, when you're honest with them, they'll be honest with you.
Okay.
When you're honest with delegates, they will be honest with you.
Right. Let's take a turn. When we come back, we're talking about the Cocoa Bill. The NPP is not happy about the recently passed in Parliament 2026 Cocoa Bill, and so we'll engage them, and then we'll touch on a few things later. Stay with us.
The next NPP administration under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will not reduce the producer price of cocoa mid-season once it has been announced. A price announced to the Ghanaian farmer will be a price honored to the Ghanaian farmer. Ladies and gentlemen, given the strategic importance of the cocoa sector to the national economy, the New Patriotic Party respectfully makes the following demands. 1. We urge His Excellency the President to withdraw assent to the Ghana Cocoa Bill 2026 and return same to Parliament for broader stakeholder consultation. We also ask Parliament to remove or substantially narrow the ministerial exception in Clause 4B so that any expansion of Cocoa Board's mandate requires an enactment. We also ask Parliament to clarify on the face of the bill that external marketing of cocoa remains vested in the Cocoa Marketing Company or state express the government's intention regarding Clause 59(1)(a). We also ask Parliament to amend Clause 81 to exempt removals carried out in accordance with Cocoa Board's published agronomic guidelines and confine the prior approval requirements to conversions of cocoa farms to non-cocoa use. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen of the press, Ghana's cocoa industry was not built in a single parliament, and it will not be repaired in a single week. It was built over a century by smallholder families who took the risk of planting a tree that will not bear for 5 years. They are owned better than a law made in haste about their livelihoods in their absence. We say again, the NPP supports sector reform. We support traceability, value addition, and guaranteed floor for the farmer. What we cannot support is a test that criminalizes cocoa husbandry, that criminalizes farmers for Cocoa Board's own registration backlog, that leaves the door open to the fragmentation of external market, and that ties the farmer's entitlement to a figure no farmer can verify. Return the bill, consult the farmer, fix the clauses, then pass a law the whole industry can stand behind. As it stands, major provisions in the new Cocoa Board law will hurt cocoa farmers.
And joining us in studio this afternoon, we have Honorable George Odro, former Member of Parliament for New Dupiase constituency, and he's also a co-chair for the NPP Policy Coordinating Committee on Agriculture. So we're going to talk about the 2026 Ghana Cocoa Board Bill. The bill was passed in Parliament a few weeks ago, but it has triggered a number of conversations, especially from the opposition, No Patriotic Party, who was saying that the president should hold on assenting to this bill because there are some provisions in the bill that they believe needs to be looked at again and taken back to Parliament for rectification and, before the president can assent to it. And all this, they say, is for the benefit of the Ghanaian cocoa farmer and the, cocoa value chain. And so let's get into the conversation. Thank you very much for joining us, sir. So, what really, the government says this is the game changer. Yeah. This bill is supposed to do good for cocoa farmers, for the country. Yeah. What's your concern? Why are you also saying that there are things that needs to be changed?
Right. Our main concern is that it's not that you don't support the reforms. You do agree, you support the reforms, but there are certain clauses that will criminalize the farmer and the whole cocoa value chain, the actors, the hauliers, the farmers, and the LBCs, the local buying companies. All right. There are certain clauses which we want the government to relax, have a second look at it, send it back to Parliament, and then let all the parliamentarians have a look at it again, because this bill, as it stands here, this is the whole bill, was passed through another certificate of agency. So by the time it was sent to the committee level, then the government had done everything already. Right. So there was a little time for the minority and the committees to have a say in the bill.
Of course, and we've seen that some of the members of the minority had complained about how fast this was passed through Parliament.
Yes. Certain documents passed under the certificate agency. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
But when it is done and you look through, especially like this bill, it has a few challenges, which we think the government the president should assent to it, and then let's have a second look at it before we pass it. And there are so many issues, especially we, MPP, we are for the farmers. MPP has the farmers, has been supporting farmers, has the farmers at heart since time immemorial. And this government, for the first time in the history of this country, cocoa has been with us for over 100 years now. This is the first time cocoa farmers' price has ever been reduced after the price has been announced. It has never happened before. So we've realized this government is not treating the farmers very well. Because if you add this bill, the clauses in the bill, and what has happened previously to cocoa farmers, that clearly this farmer is not treating the cocoa farmers very well. So we need to have a second look at it.
One of the things that I've seen, and I've seen a lot of people question that, would be the decision by a cocoa farmer to one day get up and say that I don't want to do cocoa anymore. And so I want to do something else. It's being criminalized in this bill?
Yeah. The whole idea is that, for instance, if you have a cocoa farmer, let's say 5 acres, it's your own. You see, in cocoa, about 70 to 80% of cocoa farms are from inheritance.
Right.
Do you understand? So maybe you have inherited a farm from your dad, your uncle, your grandpa, or your grandma, whatever. most cocoa trees, after 25, 30 years, the trees become old, so sometimes you need to change. And now, because of what government did to cocoa farmers with regards to their pricing, most cocoa farmers want to change trade. So, for instance, if you have a cocoa farm, 5 acres, now you decide to change the cocoa farm to do, let's say, oil palm or orange or whatever different plant. Though the farm is yours, but you, the landowner or the farm owner, you don't have the right to change the cocoa to any other crop. If you want to do that, you have to write a letter to Cocoa Board for the chief executive for approval before you can be allowed to do that.
Right.
Or, though the cocoa farm is yours, you cannot sell it. You cannot take it for loan. You don't have right on the cocoa farm except you seek approval from the chief executive of Cocoa Board. And for instance, if this bill has been enforced, let's say 2-3 years ago,
right,
and nothing has changed, or let's say 2 months ago, you remember this Cocoa Board chief executive? About 2 months ago, he was not even in the country. He was in America,
right,
watching football. He left the cocoa
because
farmers
he has a responsibility also there.
Fine. So why Cocoa Board and football? You are part of the management.
Right.
There are so many people in the management. So is he telling us the management role he's playing at the GFA is more paramount than the Cocoa Board?
That's just
no.
But that's just a tool.
So I'm just giving an example. If
right,
this way has been enforced, let's say 5 months ago,
right,
and I have a cocoa farm, and I want to change something, and I write a letter to the chief executive.
I'm sure that people can handle that.
You see, I've been a deputy minister before.
Right.
There are certain documents you as a deputy or whoever, you cannot assent your signature to it, except the main man. So if this main man has his own priority, watching football in America, and I've sent my document to Cocoa Board for seeking approval for something I have to do, what will happen to
it? I wouldn't exactly put it as just going to watch football. But in this case where there have been concerns, it's been said that farmers are giving out the farmlands to galamsey operators and all of that. Is this just not another way to just curtail that menace?
As for that one, we support.
Right.
No, that one we don't support. But what we are saying is that I don't know whether I have been to these cocoa farm areas or in the villages.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if they are also. My grandfather had a cocoa farm.
Cocoa in the village is greater than bank account.
Right.
I don't know that you're aware of that.
Oh, yeah, I'm aware of that.
If you go to the villages, if I have a cocoa farm and my uncle or my mother or whatever is sick, he's sent to Nkuma, they will say, you send to a Kofonochi teaching hospital. You say you have to pay 15,000, 10,000. Most of the farmers don't have that money there. What they do is they go and see anybody who has the money. Oh, I have 2 acres of cocoa farm. Take charge of it.
Right.
Harvest it for the next 3 years and give me 15,000. Immediately, those transactions are there in the villages.
Right.
They will give it to you. Then you go and take care of your father, mother, or whatever who is sick. Now, under this bill, these transactions cannot be effective because you don't have the right to take the cocoa to even go and give it to somebody to lend you money. But in the villages where they do the cocoa, most of them don't even have bank account. The cocoa is everything. When your ward get admission to school, you take it to somebody, you collect something.
Right.
You pay. So the cocoa farm is more than a bank account in the villages. Now this bill is saying, though the farm is yours, before you can take this transaction, you have to go write approval to Cocoa Board for approval. That's okay. If this is no problem, fine. You are all in this country. When you send a letter to an organization, and we know the way the civil and public servants, the way they work, sometimes certain document that should take about 2-3 days takes months. I'm very sure you are aware. So a farmer who is in dire need of money or something to execute his problem by using his cocoa farm, that farmer from this bill don't have that right to take that action.
So that's one that you want them
That's
to
one point. So
take
what
out.
we are saying is that the government should have a look at it again, this kind of transaction, before they can do.
So it should be taken out or it should be amended. What exactly?
It should be amended or taken out. For us, we want it to be taken out.
Outrightly.
Because there's another clause here. There's a tribunal. If you don't follow what this bill is saying and you flout it and you be criminalized and you go to a Senate tribunal, you can be in jail for 10 or 15 years.
Yes.
I mean, can you imagine? Cocoa farmer, a poor cocoa farmer in this scenario. It's very bad.
So that's one point.
That's one point.
Right.
Another point is that under the bill, Cocoa Board, Almighty Cocoa Board, only has the right to purchase cocoa in Ghana. That one has been there since. However, under this bill, the bill is saying Cocoa Board is the only organization in charge to buy cocoa. When you go further, it says Cocoa Board can refuse to buy your cocoa. Okay, if I have my cocoa under the bill, I have no right to sell it to anybody.
Right.
Only Cocoa Board.
Cocoa Board.
So if I sell it to Cocoa Board, the Cocoa Board, he has the right to buy or refuse. So if Cocoa Board refuses to buy my cocoa, I don't have the right to sell it to anybody. So what happened to me as a farmer?
Sure.
As a farmer, what happened to me?
But did they provide on what basis? Because what they say they want
that
to
is
buy.
why we want the government to have a look at this for the second time, because it's like voodoo tactics. If this thing is not changed, the Cocoa Board is even going to treat the farmers so bad, because we bring your cocoa, we say, oh, it's of no low quality, I won't buy. And cocoa, we have three types. You have the super beans, the low minor season, and the type 4. So if the cocoa say I won't buy, you have no right to sell it to
any other person.
You can send it to Abidjan to sell. You can send it to Togo to sell, but you don't have that right. If you try that, you are criminalized.
Okay, so with these clauses that you're explaining to us why they need to be taken out of this bill, how far are you willing to go for the sector minister and Cocoa Board itself to bring this thing back to Parliament?
Oh, you see, they've passed the bill, sent to the Jubilee House for the President to assent. So we are raising this concern. It's a negotiation.
Okay.
It's not a bantam thing that you are discussing. We are saying the farmer will be at risk if these things are not changed. You understand? So government should have a look at it again, bring it back to Parliament, because it was passed under certificate of urgency. Certain clauses were not adhered to. So we are asking the president, please bring it back for us to have a second look at it. Just simple as that. Because there are so many things. In fact, when you go into the bill, some of them, if you have a farm, you know there are certain ailments that come to normal life. Somebody will suffer from, I won't mention the disease name. They will say, oh, we have to cut his leg because otherwise it will be serious. Yeah. Something like cancer. They say, let's do surgery. Other than that, it will expand. The same thing as cocoa farm. There are certain diseases, let's say the swollen shoot. When it affects one or two trees, you have to take it off.
Yes.
If you don't do that, it will spread to the whole farm, which is not good for the farmer. So, now this bill is saying, even that when that happens, before you can take any tree off from the farm, you have to write to Cocoa Board for approval before you can take this tree off. And like I said, in Ghana here, if you write a letter to an organization, you all know something that you say about it, especially a Cocoa Board.
Yeah.
It will take like 3-4 months.
And especially for people who are in the hinterlands.
How many people will get transportation to come to the district level, to
the regional and all
so
that?
all these processes will take like 3, 4, 5 months before the farmer will be heard. And this disease like swollen shoot, by the time the response will come from Cocoa Board, all the farm would have been affected. You understand? So we are seeing some priority should be given to certain areas or removed from the bill.
Okay.
Entirely. It's a very simple. Let's go back to export market. Cocoa Board, from time immemorial, has been the only, and I'll say only company that exports cocoa. Now, this bill is saying, now, in addition to Cocoa Board, they are giving room to private sectors to do export. Somewhere 2000, 98, 99, 2000, thereabout, NDC, PNDC, NDC did the same thing, and they brought in, I don't know that I've heard about it, Cashpo, to also do export.
Okay.
So it took only J.A. Kufuor's government to reverse that issue.
What's your problem with that?
If they give that priority to private companies to do export, you know, Ghana cocoa, it's only Ghana cocoa that we have LED, in addition to the world market price. So if that thing happen, the difficulty is that they are going to open the floodgate. Anybody can just export. But when Ghana is exporting cocoa, our cocoa is so quality, it's special. Before Cocoa Board, you know, there's a subsidiary called CMC, Cocoa Marketing.
Yeah, marketing.
They're in charge of the export. Before the export, if you go to their warehouse in Tema, they'll bring the container, they'll do fumigation, they will fumigate the container before they will load the cocoa, panel it wide before they export. So if you give private company to do the export, what about if these companies do not adhere to the regulations used by CMC to do the export? And they will just, I know that's what they will do. They will just load the cocoa into the container and send it as Ghana cocoa. By the time it gets there, there will be some defects, thereby reducing the quality of Ghana cocoa. So that room should not be open. That floodgate should not be open. It should be restricted to only Cocoa Board to do that export.
Okay. Just to find out, we have a few minutes to go. But
right now.
Well, we really wanted to do this conversation earlier. We're waiting on you and other guests to come in. But there's a concern about the financial problems that the cocoa sector is facing. One key thing, and I remember that the Deputy Finance Minister was talking on the floor of Parliament about the move from the syndicated financing towards a more domestic, cocoa financing model.
Yeah.
What do you make of that also?
For me, it's good.
Okay.
That thing started in 2024. In 2024, Cocoa Board has been using syndicated loans to purchase cocoa and export over the years. So in 2024, cocoa season, they changed it to this local thing that you are mentioning. They didn't buy the cocoa and export with the syndicated loans.
Okay.
So that is what, at that time, it was 70-30. The buyer will just deposit 70% to CMC, buy the cocoa, and when they ship it, you come and pay the 30%. That is final. Now, most of the cocoa CMC sells, they do forward sales. You have forward sales and spot sale.
Right.
The forward sale is that during the cocoa season, the Cocoa Board will go and negotiate with the buyer. We are expecting about 800,000 tons, but we are selling 500,000 tons forward sale price. Then they will check the world market with experts and say right now is 4,000, so let's do 3,000, 9, whatever. So when that agreement is signed, that 500,000 tons at 4,800, that is where we had problem with this government when the Cocoa Board price, they reduced the price.
Yeah.
Because before then, they had done the forward sale already. And then, if you remember, the finance minister said, the price that we have achieved, because of that, we are selling the cocoa at this price. Achieved means you have signed the contract already, and you have achieved the contract, you achieved the money.
Yeah.
Though if you is not gone, the contract has been signed. So if you say you have achieved, why do you come back and say you have reducing the price? It doesn't.
And then that is they are promising farmers 70%.
No, the 70% is here, and now that what we are saying, this bill is saying 70%. Let's say hallelujah.
Hallelujah to that.
Now beginning, they said earlier on in the bill, 70% of FOB. Now they say 70% of gross. We don't know which is which. Government must come clear.
Okay.
Now they also say they are going to sell 50% process. You know, in Ghana, you have local processors. Those ones, they give them the minor crop for the processing. That's the small beans. Now this bill is saying they are going to give 50% to the local processors to process. That is good for local content.
Yeah.
Perfect. But the minor season cocoa, when they give it to the local processors, they give them 20% discount. But the type main season is FOB price. So we are saying,
okay,
if you say you are going to 50% to the local processors, the 20% discount you are giving to the processors on the main crop, what discount are you going to give to the 20% left for the main crop season?
Okay.
You understand?
Right.
The main crop beans are different from the low season. The main crop, they have the super beans. The beans are big, very bigger than the low season.
Yeah, low season.
You understand? So all these things might be ironed out clearly. Other than that, the buyer, the cocoa farmer, the hauliers, whoever is in the value chain will suffer.
Right.
So we are pleading to the president to take his time and let's have a look at it for the second time.
Right. So that's the call, and for the minority even in Parliament, they've been calling on that that the president should hold on to that, and the NPP also on that say that they do not exactly have a problem with the whole bill because it is for the good of the sector, but some portions, as Honorable Odro has taken us through, needs to be looked at again before it is assented to by the president. So thank you very much for coming. Honorable George Drees, former member of Parliament, new to BRC constituency and co-chair for the NPP Policy Coordinating Committee on Agriculture. We'll definitely be having these conversations and see how far this goes. But there's a story on Adamus, quick one, and then we wrap it up. We understand that. Let me get that here. Okay. So the Minister for Lands and Natural Resources, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofibua, has upheld the revocation of the mining leases held by Adamus Resources Limited following the submission of the final report by the Interministerial Committee tasked with reviewing the company's petition against the initial decision. And this determination brings to a close review process that was initiated after the minister, acting on the recommendations of the Minerals Commission, revoked the Akango Salmon and Nkrofo mining leases of Adamus Resources Limited in April 2026. So we'll definitely bring you more of this tonight at 7 p.m. on News Tonight. Right, and someone sent me a message that the AMA is extorting money from drivers around the Kimbu SHS. There's no sign showing no turn, but they arrest you when you turn, and they're arresting a lot of drivers on the well. Our reporters will get onto the ground and we'll see what's going on there. Many thanks for watching the program. My name is Desmond Okrekudan. So log on to www.metrotvonline.com for more news. Have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Welcome to GH Schools, your #1 training institute that offers practical-based tuition in media and a variety of skill acquisition-related areas. At GH Media School, we offer journalism and media studies, journalism and media arts, TV and film production, and multimedia production. Also, you are assured of the best beauty training with GH Cosmetology School. We offer training in massage and body therapy, makeup artistry, hair technology,